Alright everyone, here we are with ticker symbol NIO, NIO Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel. Invest for tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back. And let's jump into this chart. So NIO Inc. has been in a downward trend here. So we're watching this closely. I've been talking about it, that it actually came back down. It leveled off around this area. And as long as it stays around, this channel here, and if we were to not pay attention to all the volatility and hype that was going on in this direction and the ups and downs, this would kind of be in the same channel. If it continues in that direction and it doesn't break through $38, this could be holding itself up into a consolidation period to then hit newer highs like it did previously. Previously, it would do consolidation periods and then hit newer highs. I've talked about it in every single video that I do. We were watching as they would do it, right, over the months, and we were seeing how it was reacting and working its way up. This was one of the most volatile upward movements, and then it got even crazier, hitting almost $60. And right now, as I draw the last confusing lines here, this is a lot of drawing. I hope that you guys aren't getting confused here. We're in this direction, in this downward direction, right? So let's go ahead and remove all of these and zoom in on what's important for tomorrow. And before we do, I do want to state that this got pretty close to where we would say that it was close to $38. It was not that far from it. So one of the closest points was up here at $39.90, and we're about to look at the new low here, and we're going to zoom in and focus real in on this. But I want us to see something just kind of short term here, what's going on. It's showing the fact that it comes back up, it falls back down, it comes back up, it falls back down. And every time it comes back up, it's coming back up lower. So it's doing something like in this trend. This is the down. It came out, it came down, it came up, it came down, it came up, and it's coming down, and we're slightly up right now. So like it's doing this effect, and when you draw a line at each peak, we're actually on our way down. So we want to not get too confused with this volatility and these green days and these green moments when it looked like it was coming back up, because we're ending up at a newer low every single time since that peak of $58. Now, this did fall pretty fast at the beginning of December and so forth. We're watching this closely. As long as it doesn't break through $38, it's not much of a concern or a red flag. I know there's a lot of analysis out there and different price predictions, and I've heard all different things. And then I hear, the 100, the 150, the 200, the 300, and yeah, while those are all possible in the long term, I think in the near, short, long term, basically midterm, I would call it, if that's even a real thing, but basically towards January, not too long from now, but a couple weeks from now, and leading into the first quarter of the year and so forth, we can possibly see this hit back up, 50 plus, closer to 60. That is very, very reasonable leading up to NIO Day, if this holds itself up where we're at, and we need to see how much further up it could go. Now, if it doesn't reach those numbers, towards NIO Day, there should be some type of growth expectation of the stock chart. Wherever it's at, it should move its way up. But right now, what we want to watch for is this doesn't break through the $38 mark, because that is one of those lowest points here, 38 and some change. I'll round it down to 38 before it continued to work its way up, and it's one of the lows right after this explosive growth. That's where it dipped to. So we want to watch what's going on with NIO. As long as it stays, like I said, in this channel here, doesn't break below it. If it breaks above it, that's good news for every investor, right? We don't mind that, but we don't want it to break above it too quickly either, because such a quick growth, right? Or even just this section here, look how quickly we're going back down and we're leveling off. So far, it's pretty good that NIO is leveled off, but we need to watch it very closely. I need every single investor to be aware of that. Like, this is something that right now we're watching to see what's going on, because there's so much speculation and hype and uncertainty as all at the same time, that we need to see which one becomes a reality. But the charts, as I always like to say, they quiet down the noise a little bit. You know, right now we're seeing NIO hold itself up. It's not falling really fast, but it is showing a slight trend, right? This was a pretty steep trend here, but just within these three peaks right here, 1, 2 overall, and then 3, we're slowly coming downwards. And now we're down here. So this could actually continue the momentum and create another peak, and it could be a really slow downward momentum, or this could actually have a reversal really quickly and work downwards, and then we'll see how quickly this peak is going downwards to newer lows every single time. So we want to pay very close attention to NIO right now, especially the way things are with all those different articles and different analysis ratings. And I mean, if I pull up TradingView will tell you that this is a sell, and we're going to look at that in just a moment. But you want to get as many sources as you can, but yeah, they're showing a rating of sell. It's pretty interesting. So we want to pay very, very close attention to how it's reacting and how quickly it's reacting to these newer lows. Now, it held itself up, but we need to watch this. This is something that is getting closer and closer to that $38 mark, but it can get real close to it and not break through it. That's something we want to keep in mind. So the 50-day moving average is 41.61. That definitely needs to be broken through for the bulls to get back into bullish territory. Now, the lowest point reached in the day was 39.39. That is a very important support level, because if that gets broken through, that's the lowest point we've seen. And if it gets broken through, we're going to see newer lows. And then we need to watch this cent by cent, or every 10 cents where it's going, or just watch the whole chart in general, no matter what change it is, whether it's cents or dollars or 1/4 of a cent or whatever it is to the hundreds or thousands place. We want to pay very close attention to how it's reacting if it breaks through that point of 39.39. But before getting there, there is a support to watch, and that's our support right here at 40.15. That's one of the lowest points as this was recovering in the upward direction, slightly dipped and continued the momentum. The bulls have managed to hold this up at 41.15 right now, but $1 difference is our support at 40.15. So 40.15, if it gets broken through, we need to pay very close attention to how the stock's reacting and how it's behaving between this support and the lower support, and see if the bulls are trying to reappear within that time frame, or are the bulls losing control more than they already have, and the bears are tearing this down fairly quickly. So you want to keep in mind these points of reference, these numbers, and watch the behavior in between each one. Now, on the other hand, we have what the bulls want. The bulls want to break through resistance. This resistance is 41.49. I want every single investor to be aware of the fact that if it gets broken through and it can't be turned into a support, the bulls can lose traction, because there's still a little gap here between the 50-day moving average and our resistance that the bulls still have to cross to get back into bullish territory. So crossing this resistance does not signify that the bulls are guaranteed to make it back into bullish territory. This is just an indicator for us investors to know that this is continuing that upward momentum, and if the bulls turn it into a support, they can gain traction from there and begin that catalyst to get up to newer highs, new resistance levels that could possibly end them up above the 50-day moving average and into bullish territory. So that resistance right there, 41.49, definitely needs to be turned into a support, but it does not signify that the bulls have gained control just yet. They have a little gap there that they need to cross, which is crossing the 50-day moving average, but they're getting closer. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. And don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.